Alright, now comes the fun part. I got shim is almost complete, so I just gotta bring it down just a little bit more so the tip of the neck actually comes down to the body. So we're getting there on that. That's almost done. And now I'm going to, while I get the neck off, I'm going to cut slots in the sides here where the bars on the pickup are going to go in, so I can put biscuits in there and run it just like it was set up with a pickup ring, where these brackets would be underneath and it would raise up and down from there. Because tried doing the foam way and that's not secure. It worked for the other pickups, because their bars were in totally different positions, and they were crappy pickups, so I drilled the holes out so I can mount it right in the body. But not going to be able to do it with the Bill Taylor Sonoran sidewinders. So we're going to try this. I'm going to cut grooves in here, make biscuits out of some old pickup scratch plate material, and I'm going to secure the top ones so they hang down and stay tight, but the bottom ones will be able to slide out, so you can get the pickups out later down the road if you need to or whatever. So we're going to see how this goes. See if I can't mess something up really bad. Right off the bat, I already smell that. I'm going to get a mask over my face so I ain't breathing that crap in. Alright, there we go. So it looks like it's going to cut in there easy enough. The question is how far in and around do I need to make it? So let's see what we do. Okay, let's test for that and see what that gets us. Knocking the hardware all over the place. Dig through this bench here and find that old pickup scratch plates. Oh, it's down there somewhere. Ah, here we go. Got the old fancy dancy plate from back in the BRS days, so figure, see if that's going to actually fit in there. Okay, so I'm going to have to make that a little bit thicker. So yeah, I think the white would be better than the funky colors. So, alright, I have that. I'm going to go ahead with making the slots for the biscuits. Get those done, and then I'll go to cutting the plastic. Alright, here we go. We got some more work done on the build so far. Got a few things I like, a few things I don't like, and we're going to let you know about them. Okay, first off is there are no side dots on this. Got to have them. So as I've been playing, I've just been putting tape on the sides of the neck, and I was thinking about doing square side dots like you see here, but this is my thinnest actual real chisel, so that I think is a little too wide, because when I go this way with it, it's wider than the fretboard, and I don't think I want to do that. I don't want to overlap into this fretboard on the top, so we're going to go back to just drilling holes. I brought my drills out. I'm going to test one here shortly after I get done making this catch-up video. The next thing is something I actually like about this guitar is it is, as it sits, acoustically super loud. That's just like barely strumming the strings with my fingers. So that's a beautiful thing. And it makes it so it's actually a halfway decent travel guitar, because it doesn't need an amplifier, and you can clearly hear it over somebody yapping like me. So anyway, and then here's one of the depressing things. It's got its first ding. I was playing the other day, and I took the strap off the back first, and as I tilted it up to get the one up on the front of the guitar, the back one swung around and clipped this and took a little chunk out of it. So, not happy about that. Do I bother fixing that, or do I just chalk it up to natural wear and say it's relic now, officially relic? Alright, now we're down to something else that I don't like. I like the bridge. It fits in there perfectly. I managed to get the intonation really like super close for just a straight bar. So we're stoked about that. What I don't like is I drilled the holes on the drill press, so I know they went into the body straight. But when I threaded the post in, I didn't use the big fat inserts, because I didn't want to dig real deep in this, take a chance of fracturing the paint. So it had ones you can use with the inserts, and the other ones were just posts with wooded, thread to go right into the wood. And I used them instead, and when it threaded in on this one, it pulled itself in at an angle. So not super stoked about that, but it actually, the intonation, it might have helped the intonation to be more perfect. I don't know. But we're going to leave that as is. As you can see, I got the thumb screws up off the paint. With the neck shims, there's a slight neck break angle that you can see now. So that's all done and taken care of. I like that. And on to the project that I worked in the first part of this video. I took, in the first part, as you see, I'm going to put these two pieces together. I took a Dremel and went into the side of the body and cut slots. And to test this theory out, I basically just cut circles out of cardboard, cut them in half so they slid into the slots, and then just rotated them around a little bit, set the pickups down there, rotated them back out, and bolted, screwed the pickups like normal with the springs so that they can be adjusted. Even with the cardboard, they're pretty solid in there. I'm not going to mess around too much. This one's a little wobbly because it's only got one side of the hole to support the slots there, the biscuits, because it was already cut out for a different pickup, so I couldn't make any adjustment there. I may put a block of wood in there. I don't know if I want to mess around with trying to touch that up paint wise and all, because this did turn out so well. So we'll see what happens when I get the more solid biscuits in there and glued in. What I'll do is I'll glue the top ones so they hang off the top ones, and you can still rotate the bottom ones to get out of the way of the tab, so you can lift these out if the pickups need to be changed or fixed or whatever. So that is that. done and done. Got the electronics changed out. I got an on toggle switch, so I have all three pickup positions instead of just lead or neck, bridge or neck. New pot on there is super smooth. No binding, no wobble, no nothing. So that's that, done and done. And then lastly, I am not sure. I think I may want to lower the... God, this camera sucks for refocusing. I may want to lower the not just a hair. I mean, it doesn't... There's not a lot of play in there. So when you push down on the third fret, this is the thickness that's in there. It barely lifts up the string. So we're close to that height off the first fret, which I think is just a hair too much. I can't tell if it's because of the short scale or whatever, but it seems kind of really sensitive to strong pressing down on the fretboard. But then again, that could be just a mere function of the much larger, higher frets on it now than it had as being a kid's guitar. So I got to make that decision. I think I am going to lower it just a little bit and see what that sounds like. And then the last objective is how I've got these strings mounted. I've got these are lockdowns for a headless guitar system that I used, because you're not going to, this far back, you're not going to put a full tailpiece on there and get it to where it doesn't just rip out of the body. So these were small screws, that two screws per each one, that drill straight down the body, and they don't tear up the wood too much, because it is, after all, just a plywood build here. One thing I do want to change is, it's a pretty nasty break angle for that shortness, so that it kind of leaves tension on the strings a little higher than I like for me playing. So I think when I restring it I'm going to put the string in the back like it did, but I'm going to bring it out this front hole over the top, which still gives it a little break angle, but it doesn't make a massive angle. So there we go. All comments are appreciated. Any advice before I get going? I'll leave this up for a day or two before I start making any changes. I may make the biscuits and at least get those in and get them set and get them pickups permanently in there. And you can see now, these ghost stripes, I actually like those. Those are pretty cool. You can barely see them, but they are there. And in halfway decent light, they kind of fade out. So if it's a little bit like duller light, like this is mid-afternoon here in my living room with no external lights, so it shows up a little more. So I like it. I was glad somebody suggested I leave those. A happy accident. Anyway, this is getting more yakety than I want it to be, so I'm going to actually get some work done.